What's up, guys? Welcome to Monchkinz Gaming, where we take your gaming to the next level. This is Monchkinz logging in to bring you another Dissidia Final Fantasy Opera Omnia video. And welcome back to another versus video where I take on the hardest contents in the global version of the game. In today's video, we are going to take a look at the Diabolos Lufenia fight. First of all, I do apologize that this video is late and there's a lack of videos in the channel at the moment. It's just been very busy for me, and it's been really hard to actually get the time to edit, so I do apologize. But if you do enjoy, like and subscribe if you haven't already. It does help the channel and I would really appreciate it. So with that out of the way, let's start this video. Okay, so the party composition I went with in this video is going to be, of course, we got Ramza. And I did get his LD. I will talk about that later. I have Cloud as my secondary launcher, and then I've got Firion as my third character here. Basically just a little bit of heal, a little bit of Brave Battery to help with the launches as well. Obviously there are an abundance of characters that you can bring here. You don't necessarily need Ramza. Like I said, you got Cloud as a launcher. You got Lael that can launch as well. So the launch is important just so you can get rid of the dark energy, which basically will pretty much one-shot you if you don't take it off. So best to get that out of the way. So the biggest thing is getting rid of that dark energy when it does, and you need to break a certain amount of damage barrier before it goes away. So ideally you have a launcher that gives you Brave Battery, and lucky for us, a lot of the launchers actually give Brave Battery anyway. So Ramza is one of them. Unfortunately, Cloud is not one of them. The other option, like I said, Lael does give you a little bit of Brave Battery as well. And if you have Keys as well, you can use Keys. He can give some Brave Battery while he's up there in the air as well, so that is another option. And as for the Lufenia orb counter, you do need someone that can provide multiple buffs at the same time. I think it's 6 buffs, I think, in one turn. So Ramza fills in both roles pretty well, but if you don't have Ramza, if you didn't get his LD, he can still fill in for that particular role. However, there are other characters like Saz who gives you a ton of buffs for everyone, can fill in that role as well. I was actually thinking of Beatrix as one of them, but dark energy actually absorbs every single element, so best to use non-elemental characters here as well. So who else gives you a ton of buffs? I think Penelo gives you 6 buffs in total. One of her buffs does, if I remember correctly. I know she gives a few buffs to the party. You can correct me if I'm wrong on that one. I just can't think of anyone else on top of my head that actually provides a ton of buffs apart from Ramza and Saz. They're the ones that are stuck in my head at the moment. Leave down in the comments below if you can think of anyone else. The other one was thinking was Waka, but it's self buffs, but is it 6 or more? I can't remember on top of my head, but there's certainly a few characters I think that can fulfill that role. And I was just thinking, I do believe Ash can do that as well, although she is stuck to the holy element, so that is a thing. Yeah, I can't really think of anyone else at this point in time, but do leave down in the comments below if you do know anyone else that can do this. So that's basically it. How you have to deal with the Lufenia orb and how to deal with the fight itself. Now, obviously, he has a recast timer. I would highly suggest having Setzer as one of your call ability. this is going to save you when it comes to the second all attack. Basically, it will gain some brave and will do a ton of damage, and there's also a chance that it can one hit you, which happened to me for I'm pretty sure I removed the dark energy, but it's still one hit KO me with that recast ability. So if you have Setzer, you can time the call just about when it's about to use it. This way you can prevent yourself from getting killed. Obviously, the other option is to keep on paralyzing Diabolos if you can with Cloud. That is another option. I do believe that I don't think it has any other like immunities, but you can let me know in the comments below. I didn't really take a look, and I took a look really quickly if there was any immunities, but I can't remember if there were. But in any case, you know, that is another option, just to keep paralyzing. Keep delaying Diabolos is also another option, so it doesn't get a turn. So, you know, characters like Quistis can do a little bit of damage with this one. Yeah, so there's definitely other options out there. And you can bring Noctis as well. I completely forgot. He can launch. He has, you know, turn shenanigans there as well. So we do have a low amount of turns in order to finish this off. So that is another option. Obviously, Machina is pretty good right now. And yeah, there's just a few options really that you can bring along for this particular fight. The only thing is, yeah, I would suggest not bringing anything with, you know, elements. It's just to, you know, just to completely avoid getting KO'd by accident. You can certainly still bring lightning. I've seen people who actually brought lightning and still managed to get it to work. But if you want it to be a little bit easier for you, try not to bring any some sort of element. It just makes it easier. Again, Beatrix is another one of those characters that can buff, which I mentioned earlier, but she's tied to an element. She is still pretty viable. I've seen someone actually beat the fight, but yeah, it sometimes it just makes it so much harder if you bring those characters along, and you might not make it to the turn requirement. You might eventually get there as well. It just depends on the party composition, but you know, I'm here to let you guys know how to make it easier for you, not to make it harder for you, right? So you're clicking on this video just to make to find out what sort of works and how to make it easier for you to clear this fight. Anyway, I think I covered pretty much everything, every detail that needs to be covered when it's regarding the fight itself, just to keep yourself topped up and try not to get broken, obviously, because that's gonna you know, end up hurting you in the long run. And I think the only other thing that I guess we'll mention is the gravity ability of Diabolos. So when his all attack, it can hit you with a Gravija, and it will just reduce your brave down to 1, I believe. So anyway, I think that is it for that fight. For this particular fight, I guess the last thing I would mention is I did get Ramza's LD. Obviously, you're seeing it here now. However, it did take me over 150 tickets, I think, and it drained the rest of my gems, basically 15k gems. I was going to post my pull video, but in the end I felt like it was kind of boring. I just didn't have the energy during that time as well. I did it after work, and it just didn't feel right to upload that video where I just didn't actually feel like playing the game and, you know, just doing it for the sake of it. So I decided not to do that. So anyway, that is it. It's a short story time. I'll end the video right here, but before I do, remember to click like and subscribe if you haven't already, because guys, it does help the channel. I would really appreciate it. And you can always follow me on Facebook and on Twitter at Monchkinz Gaming. Keep up to date to what I've been doing up in there. I do tweet more often now than I used to, but still won't flood you, okay? So you can go ahead and follow me there. And, you know, the one other thing is obviously post your team down in the comments below, and which strategy did you use. Did you actually use any characters with elements in them, and did you manage to beat it? I actually tried it, but that didn't go pretty well. So yeah, leave it all down in the comments below. This is Monchkinz logging off. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next level.